Good morning, Monday morning. Unfortunately, the weather is quite grey today, and so I'm wearing my jumper. However, it is not June or July yet, so what do we expect? However, today is part 3 of Black History and what the Nation of Islam do not want black people to know. Most of us is too much hassle to pick up a book and to read. It's too much hassle to research. There's nothing wrong with researching, because by researching you will be avoiding the unnecessary pain of being brainwashed by misinformation. So you must always check your source, go to the root of what the person is saying to see if there's any truth in it. Louis Farrakhan, I promise in this third section I'll be dealing with Louis Farrakhan, the magician, and a magician indeed, a black magician. And the reason being, Louis Farrakhan, which I stated in my previous video, I think it's video number 1, they came from the temple of Moorish. Fard was Mohammed Fard was a member of the temple of Moor. The temple of Moor, they believe in all these Eastern esoteric philosophy and barbarism, etc. They believe everything is God, and hence when it broke up because there was a stabbing and a murder, Fard, who is the god of the white god of the Nation of Islam, a criminal, Fard then took on the personification of being God on earth. This philosophy, this manifestation, is all down to Moorish mishmash of nonsense. Louis Farrakhan, what he did, he descrambled the traditional teachings of Elijah Muhammad. He went on his own wild path. He just went bulldozing, he's going to create an empire for the Farrakhan family. And as a result, he jumped into bed with Scientology. He jumped into bed with Arab money, denying the slavery in Darfur because they gave him $5 million, right? And also Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, the racist, hardcore racist, who argued black people had no souls. Louis Farrakhan, right, sold out the teachings of Elijah Muhammad for this racist, because they gave him £2 million. So if you want to endorse your ideology, just give Farrakhan money and he will fight it. He will fight it. His recent project was defending the LGBT. I don't know how much money they were giving him, but his recent project was defending the LGBT. So it looks like the Farrakhan family is now moved towards being about simply money, keeping it in the Farrakhan family, and they don't care what kind of strange teachings that they bring in. It's all about bringing money into the Farrakhan family, and that's how they endorse and keep black people in their place, promoting racism, because that's their business. If you look at a butcher, selling meat is his business, so he's not going to promote vegetarianism because he put him out of business. The Nation of Islam will never promote peace between whites and blacks. It will put them out of business. They're there to cause a rift between whites and blacks while they're living in their mansion in Chicago. So that's their business. Now, Louis Farrakhan, as I said, he's all over the place. He doesn't know what the hell he believed in. However, 95% of what Louis Farrakhan preaches from on the floor where he does his tricks, right, is from the Bible. 95% is from the Bible. and how he tricks black people. He knew that black people have a Christian background, so it's something they're comfortable with. And what does he do? He replaces certain things in the Bible and puts a Muslim face to it, or Muslim false history. And I'll show you how that's done. The white male you saw is Fard Muhammad. He is what Nation of Islam, what is Fard Muhammad? He is what Nation of Islam called their God on earth. Their God made manifest in the flesh. This white criminal. Now, in order to sell this concept to a black audience with a Christian past, you have to use the Bible. Look, Muhammad did it. Muhammad called himself the Spirit of Truth, you know, the praised one, and they twist the Arabic so it sounds Aramaic. You know, it's all just trick in the book, right? If you're ever familiar with Didat's videos, he teaches Muslims how to fool the Christians, because Arabic and Aramaic are sister languages. They're very similar. So instead of saying Yeshua, you say Isa. Instead of saying Mary, right, I think it's Maryam. Instead of saying Joseph, you say Yusuf. So all they do, they change the language. That's how they put spells on black people who are not familiar with Arabic and Aramaic being sister languages. That's how they do spells on black people. So you think you're given a bona fide religion, but you're not. Right? Black magic is about twisting and bending reality in order to trick the mind that's been given truth. That is the mystery of black magic. And Louis Farrakhan has been playing black magic on the black audience since the 1950s, and he's going strong. In his next clip, you will see Louis Farrakhan pretending to talk about the Messiah in the Bible, you know, the promised Messiah. But we're not talking about Messiah as we know the Jewish Messiah. We're not talking about that. He twists it and make it talk about this white criminal or Elijah Muhammad. You will see how he was able to fool black people with his religious garbage. Watch this clip.
Sweet little Jesus boy. I just didn't know who you was. You walked among us, yes, sir, and we rejected you. Yeah. Like the Bible says, the light shined in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended it not. And he came unto his own, but his own received him not. He was among us. He was a son of man. He was the first fruit of them that slept. And he was the first begotten of the dead. You are the dead. And the white man watches your grave. Like they say.
Now you can see from that clip, and with the caption which I put on, how he was able to twist the audience. Now, many black Christians today don't even know their Bibles. So if you get a trick magician, a black magician, an occult, a witch, a warlock, with that kind of personality and able to use holy scriptures for wicked deeds, then you can see why black people were taken in. It's interesting. If you don't believe me, look at Louis Farrakhan videos. He never uses the Quran. He made one reference, and 95% of it is the Bible. 95%. Why? Because they're saying, if you want to catch fish, you're not going to use biscuits. You're going to use worms because fish like worms. Black people, you know, we brought up in the Bible, so we feel comfortable. But what do like the devil? You twist it until it sounds like something else. And that's what Louis Farrakhan has continued to do. Twist the Bible and make it Muslim. And that's the reason why many black people are lost today. He argued that Christianity is a white man's religion, yet he has no problem 98% of the time quoting from it. You think what the hell's going on? 98%. In one of his videos, which I hope to find, he claimed he loves Jesus more than anybody else. Then if he loves Jesus more than anybody else, what the hell is he doing promoting Christ as a racist? He loves Jesus more than anybody else. He's more Christian than anybody else. Can you imagine the technology, the mental technology that does to a black Christian who's drinking milk and not eating meat? That kind of confusion. Obviously, he's never met the likes of me. I would demolish him in less than 2 seconds. In less than 2 seconds, I'd demolish him. I'd go straight to the source, straight to his philosophy, straight to his theology, straight to his founders. That's how you deal with a person. You go straight to the root. See what the hell brought them into manifestation. Wallace D. Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad. That is the source for this cult. These two criminals. But now it moved on to better fields. Louis Farrakhan, this is why, if I can find it, Khalid Muhammad, the lovely brother, maybe wrong faith, but lovely brother, Khalid Muhammad had a go at Louis Farrakhan because Khalid Muhammad realized Louis Farrakhan was being a double agent. He was being a double agent. He was going on his own path, making money. Yes, making money. Before I play the next clip, I want you to imagine Khalid Muhammad in hospital, shot down. Khalid Muhammad in hospital, shot down. And Louis Farrakhan had every opportunity to visit this warrior, this fine brother. Louis Farrakhan claimed he's got more Jesus in him. He's got love for his people. He loves his people. Prepared for the shock. Khalid Muhammad shot down like an animal. And he contacted Louis Farrakhan while he was in hospital dying. This is Louis Farrakhan. You want to see what he really stands for? You really think he knows black people? You really think he does? Watch this next clip.
No, brother, I didn't like what my father did to my little brother, Attorney Malik Shabazz, like that in front of everyone. I was the first to call the million. We all love you for that. And if you heard the tape, saw Brother Clemson Brown's video or any of the others, or if you were there, you know we gave props to Minister Farrakhan from the beginning to the end. And if you visited our website on the World Wide Web, we invited him. I didn't expect him to come. And I'm nobody's puppy dog. I'm not going to tuck my tail and go sniffing behind. Nobody. Louis Farrakhan didn't teach me that way. Much of what I am by the power of God and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and what they put in him, he put it in me. And that's the way I'm going to be from here on out. I'm not changing. I got one letter from Minister Farrakhan in 5 years. One letter in 5 years, though I had written him. I called him repeatedly. You've heard me talk about it right at the UAM forum. For years, he set up meetings and postponed the meetings. When I was in the hospital, shot down like a dog, he never visited me, never sent me a letter, never sent me a postcard, not a penny, not a nickel, not a dime, the whole damn time. I know what happened between Malcolm and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and how Malcolm's letters were being intercepted, how his calls were being intercepted. So I know when to reach my father, so I would call him early in the morning when I knew he would answer the phone. And I would sometimes speak directly to him, and he would be just as nice and promise that we would meet, and there were no meetings. I stopped doing that, and I said everywhere he was going to speak, I would go and sit on the front row or the second row to say, here I am. Will you see me? Can we talk? Can we work this out? I want to come back. Remember how dedicated I've been. Remember how committed I've been, how devoted I've been. Remember, I was with you when your son was not with you. I was with you when your daughters were not with you. I was with you when none of the Nation of Islam was with you. Remember me, I'm the one who used to pack 2 pistols to make sure that nobody would do anything to you. I'm the one who would stand next to you with a gun and a Bible. I'm the one who was willing to take a bullet for you. If an enemy stood up to shoot you down, I would sit on the front row, the second row, begging almost, pleading. What in the hell do I look like 5 years later, calling a man saying we're having the Million Youth March? Will you come and help us, please, sir? Hell no. We still invited him because it was the right thing to do. But we don't have to consult you. We consult God and God alone, God damn it.
I promised that I was going to go deeper into assassinating the real nature of Louis Farrakhan. I'm only just warming up. So his own brother, Khalid Muhammad, a warrior, genuine. This man would give you the clothes off his back. He's not into wearing diamond rings like Louis Farrakhan and showing off. Oh, just because I have a diamond ring don't make me better than you. Then why mention it? Why mention it? You got all these poor blacks in the audience and you don't mention you got a diamond ring? For the time I heard that very first time, that's when I lost interest in Louis Farrakhan. I can work a first class in 2 seconds flat. It don't take me 15 years. For the time you mention it, oh, it's like you're in a ghetto and somebody comes along with a limousine. And I say, just because I got a limousine doesn't mean God loves me more than he loves you. Do you know what the hell is going on here? You're starving. And he showed off his diamond ring. Nah, from the time he did that, I didn't trust him. Khalid Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan, obviously, because Louis Farrakhan, this is all with the youth. Louis Farrakhan wants to show off, the $1 Million Man March, etc. But Louis Farrakhan did not want to support the youth. He had to be behind it. He had to be top dog. He claimed he loves his people. No, he wants to be in power. Like North Korea, like America, he has to be in power. That's what Louis Farrakhan's about. Power. He don't love no black people. Now wait for the shock. Wait for the shock. The Nation of Islam and Orthodox Islam teaches that Jesus didn't die on the cross. It only appeared so, says Salah, Quran, Salah chapter 3. It only appeared to them so. But what was it they said? Some kind of substitute. This is Quran. This is Islamic history. Right? But substitute. So the Roman soldiers crucified a Jew, crucified him, but somehow they switched him at the cross. They switched them. So an actor took over. Jeffrey Hunter took over. But this is now, bearing in mind, they don't believe that Jesus died on the cross. They don't believe in it. But we Christians who do, look at what Louis Farrakhan now does with his trick. Look what he now does. You want to see how low he is? Watch this next clip.
I'm hanging on a cross right now. I'm on Calvary right now. And I'm ready to go all the way. Because I know that by my stripes, every one of you will be healed. You don't have to look anywhere for your Jesus. I represent him.
So now Louis Farrakhan is your Jesus. It's not my words, these are his words. He's your Jesus. Don't look at Jesus. Don't look at the Messiah. Don't look at the fountain of life, the source of life. Look towards him. Well, I hope he can get you at the grave, which, you know, I hope you put your trust in him to get you at the grave the latter days. If you're so stupid to listen to his message. But you know, it gets worse than that. It gets worse. This man has got an ego. If you look at the psychology of Muhammad, the founder of Islam, Orthodox Islam, he's got the same complex. Same complex. Right? All praise to Muhammad, and 99 names which you think are towards Allah is actually towards Muhammad. That gets too complex to go into. I'll have to do another video on it. Louis Farrakhan has got a big ego. A massive ego. He's got a serious problem. And you black people, you fed it. You fed it because you don't read. So he sounds intelligent. He sounds clever. So when he stands there looking at the Bible, can you imagine me in the nation of Islam? Can you imagine? He coming out bullshit. I said, wait there. Isaiah 53. It's not about Wallace van Muhammad. It's not about you. You know, you weren't even in sight. This is going back, prophesying about the Messiah coming from the Jewish lineage, which was Jesus. It ain't you. They kick me out or they shoot me. They love shooting niggers. They really love it. They get turned on. They love killing blacks. Do you know that the rift between Khalid Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan? Did you know it was the FBI that put up Louis Farrakhan to get Khalid Muhammad to beg? Khalid Muhammad made a very powerful speech. Very powerful speech. I mean, okay, he was over the top. He was strong in his condemnation of racism. Louis Farrakhan, with all his rhetoric, with all his war, it's all an act. Khalid Muhammad, he meant it. But Louis Farrakhan, it was all a stage show. Even some of these fake Christians, Benny Hinn and Creflo Dollar, and they do Blacks and Jesus. And what happens? They take money off you. They give you in tears. And they stand there like this. Then what happens is you pour your money into the, you know, it's a con trick. Farrakhan, it's a con trick. Then what he does, he creates a smoke and mirror, Louis Farrakhan, and he creates this circus show. The white race has come to the end. The white race. And what does he do? He knows full well, while you're in a state of mind, he's going to fleece you for your goddamn money. It's a business. The Louis Farrakhan empire has become a business. It remains with the Farrakhan family. They really took your money out of you. There will be no referendum. Oh, let's bring in a new leader. It will stay in the Farrakhan family. They are controlled by the FBI, which is why they can't do nothing for black people. Look, these so-called black deaths on the streets done by the police. What has Nation of Islam done about it? Nothing. All these black deaths. All the immorality, the gang violence, which is rampant. So one gang member, you know, it's not making any money, so become Nation of Islam. That's just a change. After a mass change, big, massive change. They've done nothing. They haven't even opened a soup kitchen. They took your money off you, and because why? It's a Farrakhan empire. They can't do nothing. They have no economic program like Dr. Omar Johnson. There to fleece black people because we're too stupid. We can't read. You better get up a book Everything I'm telling you now, you better check it out. Jesus says, I taught nothing in secret. You have people in the world today have little views, secret views, but they won't go on camera because they're scared. There's nothing I've said today that I can back up in court or anywhere. I won't even edit this damn video. Nothing I've said that I'm going to water it down. I'm not Louis Farrakhan. I'm not a con man. That's the only way you black people will wake up. Stop following these fake leaders. They don't love you. They love your money. Black deaths still rampant. Still a problem. And the Nation of Islam, where are they? Money time. Million Man March time. To go back to, I'm digressing. The FBI didn't like what Khalid Mohammed said. Ling ling, ling ling. Oh, my good friend Louis Farrakhan, my good friend. Look, tell off Khalid Mohammed. You know, he was threatening white people. Tell him off. Can you imagine? The FBI ringing up Louis Farrakhan. And that's the reason why Louis Farrakhan kicked him out. The Nation of Islam. Watch the video. Don't take me seriously. Watch the video. I'll post the link and you'll see it for yourself, unedited. All you have to do, in fact, look up Khalid Mohammed on Louis Farrakhan, or Khalid Mohammed mad at Louis Farrakhan, and you will see it for yourself. Louis Farrakhan sold him out. Sold him out. This is a religion you take seriously? The religion? A con man who sits there calling himself Jesus? Calling himself Elijah? You black people, you got a problem. The same Nation of Islam that call Christianity a white man religion, yet they worship a white man called Wallace Muhammad. I know it's a long video today, but I have to get this off my chest. I want to play you something else. Elijah Muhammad's own son. Elijah Muhammad, his father's a criminal. Him and Wallace Fard, who tore him up in prison, this scam. Elijah Muhammad's own son said that he didn't believe his own father was even a prophet. This is his own son. Said he didn't even believe his own prophet. And he went even further. He said, do you know something? His own, I think it was him or his own father didn't believe that Fard, the white man, was God in flesh. And you'll see Louis Farrakhan sitting there in the corner, quiet like a girl, worried. Oh, my money's about to be exposed, my money. Watch the video clip. His own son. Look, who should know you? Look, I know my father more than you do. Who should know the father? If you got a father, who should know the son? And look, you will see Louis Farrakhan in the corner like a girl. Go to the source. That's how you destroy these people. That's how you burst their bubble. They think they got some strange Kemetic religion, some African ancestral spirit. They got some truth. They follow Dr. John Henrik with his nonsense. You think you got truth? Go to the source, and you'll find out your source is strange. So Elijah Muhammad, he said that his own father, he didn't even believe he was a prophet, never mind anything else. And he gave his reasons why. This is Elijah Muhammad's own son. And he said, as for what his father Muhammad, he said, how can a white man be God? This is Elijah Muhammad, and Louis Farrakhan sits there. Never challenge him. He sat there. Work it out for yourself, and you'll begin to see that Louis Farrakhan and the family is about money. And that's the reason why they deny slavery in Darfur. That's the reason why they took the money of Scientology. They're all about money. Yeah, if a tranny came, and you know, the LGBT, and offered Louis Farrakhan £10 million, he would take it. I tell you something. Neither of us can judge. He'll soon change his mind. The man's a pimp.
Was the incarnation of he was God on earth. You know.
I differed with my father.
Yes.
And I didn't want to differ with him.
Yes.
In fact, I never differed with him directly. I was told, he was told that someone heard me saying something different. Mm-hmm. So he called me to question me about it. And I told him that I could more readily believe that he was God than I could believe that his teacher was God, because his teacher was a white man, and he said white people were devils. And also I told him that I understand something from your teacher that makes me believe that he said those things, but he also left enough evidence of his real intent, and that was to bring us to the correct idea of God in Islam. For example, my mother, when I was leaving the home one day, after my father had insisted that I accept God the way he presented God, or I was going to be cut off from all communication. He told me he knew it would hurt me to know that I wouldn't be able to see my mother. He said, you won't be able to talk to your mother or see her. So I didn't change. And as I was leaving, my mother was hurt, and it hurt me to see her hurting like that. She said she walked me to the door, which she didn't do. That was normal for her. And my father excused you. And she stood on the porch at the door, and she said, Wallace, why don't you go back there and accept this? Just say you believe. I said, Mama, tell me what Mr. Farad told you all. I said, did he tell you he was God? And she looked like her face went blank, and looked like she didn't know what to say. And a few seconds she said, no, he did not. Said, in fact, he told us to not even call him prophet. Said that was too big a title for him. Then I said to my mother, how can you ask your son now to accept a man as God who told you prophet was too big a title for him?
I see. So I think that is the consistent view that if Master Farad's contribution has been to
Farad was sincere. That's my point.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
He was very sincere.
Any Orthodox Muslim out of the 1.2 billion will readily accept that. But when there is any suggestion of something related to being God on earth.
In my next video, I'm going to. I might take some time making it, but I'm going to debunk this myth, if I haven't already done so, that Christianity is a white man's religion. I'm going to destroy that myth, okay? But it's interesting, you notice that these Negroes, these black savages, these black King Kongs, it's interesting how they don't mind worshipping a white man, a criminal from prison. This is the state of black people. They don't mind worshipping a white criminal. Even the son of the founder of the Nation of Islam said the same thing, that Wallace Fard Muhammad was a white man and was living God. But black people, why you attacking Christians for worshipping the Messiah, the true biblical Messiah, as foretold by biblical prophets? You worship a white criminal? You people are sick. There's something wrong with us.